Hey, everybody, and welcome. You're joining us for the first edition of Rocktail Roundtable. And our first guest gets to be my guinea pig for this. Appreciate you joining me. It's MJ Hrabik with Metaballic Hoops Academy. Thanks for testing it out with me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I was able to catch MJ because he's got his shooting accelerator course going on with a couple of different age groups today. Older ages for this?
So, obviously, the high school basketball season just kind of wrapped up, and so we're kind of letting them just kind of chill right now after the season. So, this is a little bit younger. The first session is going to be 4th through 6th grade, and then our next session will be like a junior high, like 6, 7, and 8. Or
Okay.
7 and 8, I guess.
So getting right back into it again, postseason basically, and up in their game. And we'll chat a little bit more about that here in a moment. But like I said, first edition of the Rocktail Roundtable. We do have room for additional sponsors. If you're willing to hop in, we're going to have quite the array of guests this year covering many different topics from the region, not just Britain, but the region. So it should be a good time and a good conversation there. And I can't wait to get into it. Sponsoring today's episode, of course, North Star Federal Credit Union, Jay Cruz and his staff on Highway 10 in Britain there. They got a lot of cool things happening, and they show a lot of support throughout the community. So definitely appreciate them. Stop in and visit if you can. And then Creative Concepts with Emily Van Lith. Her new office is Main Street inside of Joe's Pizza Shack, which they've also got a lot of good stuff there. So stop in and visit with Emily, and also grab yourself a dirty soda or a pizza. But why don't we just hop right into it here? Let's meet the man behind Metaballic Hoops Academy. You obviously have had a love for the game all your life, but you didn't start out teaching basketball. Give us a little bit about your background and how you got involved in educating kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's starting off with that one. I mean, I could go on for days. That could be a whole episode in itself. But you're right. Like, I've been around the game of basketball ever since I can remember. I'm a son of a coach. My dad was my high school coach. So, like, growing up, you see our water boys in Britain. That was essentially me. There was no daycare for me. My mom sent me to practice, and that's what I was doing, was just chilling. And I didn't really understand at the time, but just absorbing the game and getting a love for it at that point. But went on to have a nice high school career. My dad was my coach. Was able to play 4 years of college at Nebraska Wesleyan. So that's a feat in itself. I know a lot of kids get into college and maybe give it a try 1 or 2 years, but 4 years I made it. And then ended up going into elementary education. And the first job that I received was down in Arizona. So I was actually down in Arizona for 10 years, coaching basketball, teaching 5th and 6th grade, being an instructional coach in the classroom, which is essentially teaching teachers how to teach. And that was an experience as well, too, and being a vice principal as well, too. I think kind of the blend of basketball and the classroom is just kind of coming together here with my business, because instead of me teaching in a per se classroom, now it's the court is my classroom. That's a little bit of my background right there, and I still consider myself a teacher. It's just in a different aspect.
So you've kind of seen and done it all at every level. So that's pretty neat. I've always wondered, what's the Arizona heat like midsummer?
Oh, I mean, a lot of people will say that it's brutal and they hate it, but I was in Bullhead City, Arizona, so if you know anything about it, it's kind of just south of Las Vegas. It can get as hot as, like 120, 125 in the summer. But I swear, as long as you're by water, it's not that bad. It's actually, so I went from the hottest place in the U.S. to the coldest place in the U.S. in the matter of a year. And that all happened because of a girl. She brought me back here. Obviously, my wife is from here, and that's where we decided to land.
And that's a neat connection, too, because she's a basketball gal herself. Saw her name up on that new 1,000-point plaque in the arena. So that's pretty neat. And
Yeah.
you guys are able to kind of cohort this here together.
It was funny because when we met each other down in Arizona, I didn't know her well yet, but we were out, having dinner with some friends and things like that. And there was somebody from Millbank that she ran into, and he goes out of the restaurant bar and said, Emily Goddard from Britain is here. I'm just like, who the heck? Just like, so this girl must know her stuff about basketball. So I guess you can say that we were maybe meant to be just by the basketball gods.
Right. Oh, what a neat story.
Yeah.
A Nebraska kid down in Arizona. So not only have you seen every level of education, you've seen every level of weather.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
So you got yourself to Britain, thanks to your wife. Once here, how did basketball start shaping your life here?
Yeah, so I first started off with coaching girls basketball here at Britain and did that for 5 years and really had a great experience. We were building from the very moment that we got here. The girls program at that point, had some growing to do. And so it's always fun as a coach and exciting to know that you basically have a blank slate to go off of and kind of make the program kind of how you want it to be. So that was the exciting part. The challenge, there were some years, I think I remember one year we had 6 girls come out for high school basketball, and so then we had to start bringing up some younger girls and things like that. But by the end of my 5 years, I think we finished with a winning record. We got a region win here at home. Can't remember who that was against, but that would have been, I believe, like Jenna Werner, Chloe Furman, their senior year.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that vividly, just being excited about girls basketball for a change, and it was such a fun time. And I think that's kind of trickled on through some of these other gals now, and very excited to see where they go in the future because they're tough girls. And I'm happy that you kind of helped build that base up, and now they have an opportunity to succeed if they want. So from there, you kind of stepped out of that world and decided to venture off on your own, and that's when Metabolic Hoops Academy kind of started. Actually, I met you a little before that through Cold Front Fitness.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of kicked off my fitness journey, if you will, and it's kind of continued on. So I've taken some things that you've taught me as an adult even and continued to use those today. So very appreciative of that. But after Cold Front Fitness, explain a little bit about the idea of Metabolic Hoops Academy and how that came about.
Yeah, it's I'll kind of rewind it back to when I was teaching. I remember the first 30 minutes when I was a 5th grade teacher in Britain of the day, I started like dedicating it towards, I think Sheila Anderson gave me the idea of doing something called Genius Hour. And Genius Hour was essentially like the kids come in for 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of the day, to get them excited about being there at school. You get to study whatever you want to study. So they get their laptops out, they have a partner, and a lot of kids, it's really cool to see what they choose to study, and then they started actually kind of, some of them, building little mini businesses, as 5th graders, but getting the entrepreneurship idea, the ball rolling a little bit. And, I saw all these great ideas in these 5th graders, and I'm telling them, I'm just like, hey guys, like you can do whatever you want to do. Like you got to follow it. You got to do it, But at that time, it could have been like baking cupcakes, or it could have been like something like that. But, it's just the idea. And I think one day, I was just kind of sitting back. I'm just like, because I've always had the idea of doing a basketball business at some point. And I just felt, well, hey, MJ, if you're telling all these 5th graders that they can do it, maybe you should follow your own advice and try that yourself. And so I didn't try it right away. I actually went into insurance there for about 6 months and realized quickly that wasn't the answer for me. But after I knew when I was there at insurance that, okay, this is my opportunity. You're either going back to teaching or you take a shot on yourself and and you pursue that basketball career. And obviously, this is what I chose.
And it's working out well, I must say. I've enrolled my oldest anyway, so far, and it's very neat to be inside of the app you use and get the setup that you have, but also get the instruction outside of that from yourself. And I've seen a new level of play from my own kid, and it's just fun to sit back and watch the level of care you put into things, and success is paying off for everyone through that. So certainly appreciate you putting it together. So now, if someone wants to get involved with you, what ways can they do that? What do you suggest? Because it's not just out of season work that you handle. You have kids working in season as well.
Yeah, and that's always kind of evolving as well too. You know, as I'm learning as a business owner, you know, just the shift of the seasons and everything. Obviously, coming up here in the summer, my time is going to be spent a lot traveling, just kind of locally. Draw a 2-hour radius around Britain in any direction, and most of my camps that I'll be putting on will be within about 2 hours. So, which is nice. I can go do my camps, come back, be home with the wife and kids after that. But in the summertime, that's going to be a bulk of where I go. So, if you know you're listening to this and you want me to come in for a camp, I usually do a 1 or a 2-day camp in the summer. But here locally, I will still do my Monday skills sessions. So that would be if somebody's local and they're willing to drive to Britain, then that would be an option for them as well too. But those kids that come to me for that 1 day in the summer, I've really found that a hybrid model works best. So a hybrid model is essentially kids travel to you, you give instruction, and then you send them with homework. Okay, and then I hold them accountable on our app. I put the homework on the app and say, because really, if all the work that a kid is doing is the 1 or 2 hours with you that session, how good are they actually going to get? They got to put some work in on their own as well too. And so that's kind of the hybrid model that we got going on. So those are the summer things that I have upcoming. In the spring, obviously, we do a 3-on-3-on-3 league, which is coming up. And that's for high school, junior high ages. Obviously, the shooting accelerator here. But if somebody's listening to this and they're, you know, trying to figure out, you know, what do you offer, I would go to my website, go to upcoming events, and I have all my upcoming events listed right there, and you can click on it and just kind of check it out.
Yeah, and there is a lot there. So whether you're looking to be a better shooter, better defender, rebounder, there's tons of tips and tricks there. I've been in the website myself, and whatever area of your game you're looking to improve, you're going to find it there with MJ. And I'll say too, you're going to improve as a person if you get signed up with MJ. I don't know. I just can't say enough about your program, and appreciate you being around here. We'll kind of round things out here, and we'll give the people at home, let's go top 3 things most important to up your game.
Sure. Wow. Okay. I got to boil it down to 3 things. Well, I think the number one thing, and the reason why I'm doing this now, the shooting accelerator, right when the season is ending, is because now you have how many months until the next season begins. If a player truly wants to make it so a coach cannot take you out of the game, you got to be a shooter. Okay, you got to be a shooter. That's the number one skill in basketball. Is you have to just be a sniper from the outside. You know, obviously, you know, I don't want to sound obvious or anything, but the next thing would probably, you got to be able to handle the ball as well too. You know, the next, and it's not just like I got to be able to dribble the ball stationary. I talk to kids when I do my camps or sessions. You have to be able to dribble with pace. You have to be able to change your height level, and you have to be able to change your speed as well too. So ball handling, I said shooting, ball handling, and then man, I got to pick a third, huh? Well, third, I'll just say this could be number one as well too. It's not really a basketball skill; it's just an overall skill, consistency. Like you remember it from when you were coming to Cold Front. It said it on our shirts: consistency is king. You know, as well as I do. It's like if a kid truly wants to transform and become a better player, they have to be consistent with it. They got to keep on. And a person could argue that is a skill. It's a skill,
Right.
getting yourself to do hard things.
Yes.
Right. So, shooting, ball handling, and consistency.
That is for sure. Used to be a big drummer, and I'm sure I could still pick up the sticks and lay down a beat, but I would sound awful right now because I haven't been consistent with it.
I'd like to hear that.
Same thing goes for shooting and just being decisive on the court. You got to keep at it and keep after it to build those skills. Well, that's going to round out our first episode of Rocktail Roundtable. I certainly appreciate you being my guinea pig.
Absolutely.
MJ is the star sponsor for this episode, along with North Star Federal Credit Union and Creative Concepts. To end things out, where and how can people reach you?
Sure. My website is www.metaballichoopsacademy.com. Don't get tricked on Metaballic. It's Metaballic. Okay, so not like metabolic health, but I got the play on words in there with the BALL.
Yes.
So don't get stumped on that. Go there. I got everything that you guys need on there.
All right. You heard it here from the man himself. Get yourself a game plan and up your game. And thanks for tuning in on Rocktail Roundtable. Keep an eye on our Rocktail Facebook page, and we'll keep you updated on to when and where we will be next live streaming. But until then, we'll see you next time.